Hey friends. So, in addition to the content I put out there on this channel all about resilience and parenting tips and general tips and strategies and things like that, I'm also going to be starting a series that I'm just entitling Reactions. Recently, I got into the whole Reddit world, many years too late, but there are all kinds of really interesting questions and thoughts. And I thought, oh, this might be a pretty neat opportunity to give some reactions and give some feedback and share about my experiences and see what you guys think and hopefully get into some good discussions with you all about your experiences too. Today, the first reaction video that I'm doing is on a Reddit post within the Cleft lip. I don't know, what do you call them? Worlds, communities, categories? I don't even know. But anyway, it's within the Cleft lip Reddit thread and it's entitled When People Just Don't Understand. So I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about it. So this individual says, do you find it infuriating when someone of your family or partner just doesn't understand the way you feel about your lip and they brush it or dismiss it like there's nothing there? I understand that they don't want us to feel bad, but I find that pretending it isn't a big deal when it clearly makes you feel insecure to be such a gaslight. Am I overreacting or do you understand what I'm saying? I understand. I think oftentimes when we're going through something as traumatic as being born with a cleft, whether it be cleft lip, cleft palate, or both, we're going through something that, unless the other person has direct lived experience, they can't possibly understand. They can empathize and maybe they can relate it to something that they themselves went through, but it's really difficult unless they've lived through it as well. I think with this question, what's coming up for me is I remember growing up and meeting somebody new, meeting new groups of people, and someone might say, oh, I didn't even notice. How can you not notice? I have 2 scars on my lip, essentially felt, although I knew they were trying to be nice and they meant well, it's not the compliment people think that it is. I think what they're trying to say is that my having a cleft doesn't negatively affect them in any way. They see me as a person, not just my cleft, maybe something like that. And I get that. That makes sense. But there also is the other part of it where people just want you to kind of get over it, that it isn't a big deal, that you've had the surgery and it's done. But that's also a misconception because although many people think that a cleft repair is just one surgery and you're done, that is far from the case. I myself have had 13 surgeries over my life. I know other individuals who are born with cleft that have upwards of 25 surgeries. So there's a dismissiveness that comes in that we can really take to heart and be upset about because it's almost dismissing what we've been through and what our journey is like. Now, maybe somebody wants to try to show us, have a different perspective. Things could be worse, and that's fine too. But I suppose my response to this individual would be have a conversation with whoever it is that is making you feel that way and see if they're A, receptive, B, willing to change their behavior, and depending on the results of those 2 things, you can decide if you want to keep them in your life or not. Because it is hard when you feel dismissed all the time, when you don't feel validated, when someone says, oh, I didn't even notice, or your surgery's over, what's the big deal? The cleft journey lasts our entire life, and it brings up things that we have to deal with both medically and emotionally forever. I'm in my 40s and still dealing with medical issues relating to my cleft. So it doesn't stop. And I think people that want to say that it isn't a big deal or it could be worse, although I'd like to think that their heart's in the right place, it's not landing that way. And so hopefully they're responsive to a conversation about that and just sharing with them how you feel, and then you can make your choices after that. So curious what you all think for those in the cleft community or facial difference community. If you've experienced that yourself, how have you responded? What have you done? Was the other person receptive to what you had to say? Leave me a note down in the comments. I'd love to hear. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more reactions. And if you've got something you want to ask or you saw something come up in the social media world that might be of interest, share it so I can take a look too. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you next time. No matter where you are on your path, you belong here. Not so bad. You've got the power to take control over how you feel about yourself and to boost your self-esteem.